welcome to another episode of Kai Time. I am your host, Mata Sere. Now, thank you so much for joining us. All right, so we've got a great lineup, so let's check out what's coming up on the show tonight. Now, coming up on the show tonight, we will take a look at our food feature for this week. We will also be checking out another recipe from our friends at House Sky. Plus, on our Kai Time cooking segment, and as always, we've got another very simple, affordable, and tasty dish that we will be making. Now, let's get straight into it. So, for our recipe tonight, we're going to be making a dessert, something a little bit different from what we usually do on our Kai Time cooking segment. Now, our recipe is called the Taro Toffee Balls. And we're going to be using taro as our main ingredient for tonight's recipe. Now, I'm going to show you the ingredients that we will be needing a little bit later on. But for now, I'm going to get started with peeling the taros, and I've got 2 taros here. Now, while I prepare the taro, we'll take a look at our food feature for this week. Our food feature for this week is the taro. Taro is one of PNG's most ancient and culturally significant crops. Archaeological evidence from Cook Swamp in the Western Highlands province shows that taro was cultivated in PNG over 7,000 years ago, making it one of the earliest known cultural crops in the world. It was a central part of traditional diets long before the introduction of sweet potato, rice, or other foreign staples. Taro thrives in PNG's tropical climate, particularly in swampy or well-watered lowland areas, but is also grown in some highland gardens. It has historically been a ceremonial food featured in feasts, bride price exchanges, and community gatherings. Many coastal and island communities consider taro a prestige crop, with certain varieties reserved for chiefs or special occasions. When sweet potato was introduced from South America several hundred years ago, it gradually became the main staple in the highlands due to its adaptability. However, taro remained important in many lowland and island regions. Even today, taro holds cultural and spiritual significance, symbolizing abundance and community unity in traditional events. Taro is widely grown throughout PNG, with varieties differing in size, color, and flavor. Some have white flesh, others have light purple, and there are distinct dry and wet types. Dry taro is firmer and preferred for roasting or boiling, while wet taro is softer and often mashed or made into puddings. Taro leaves are also eaten as a nutritious green vegetable when cooked properly. Taro is a good source of carbohydrates for energy as well as fiber for digestion. It contains potassium, magnesium, vitamin C, and some B vitamins. Its low glycemic index means it releases energy slowly, helping maintain steady blood sugar levels. Taro leaves, when cooked, are rich in iron, calcium, and antioxidants. Here are some common cooking uses of taro. 1. Boiled or steamed. Taro can be boiled or steamed and served with meat, fish, or vegetables. 2. Roasted or baked. Taro can be cooked in earth ovens or mumu for feasts and gatherings. 3. Mashed. Taro can be mashed and mixed with coconut cream for a traditional pudding. 4. Taro fries. Taros can be fried into chips or patties for a modern snack. 5. Cooked in coconut milk with local greens and spices. 6. Soups and stews. Taro can be used in soups and stews to add thickness and texture. 7. Desserts. Taro can be boiled, pounded, and mixed with coconut for a flavorful dessert. 8. Taro milkshake. Boiled taro, blend with milk or fresh cream for a tasty milkshake. Beyond its role as a staple food, taro remains a symbol of cultural identity in many parts of PNG. It is grown not just for sustenance, but also for ceremonies, festivals, and gift exchanges. In some communities, taro planting rituals are observed to ensure a good harvest, linking the crop to traditions that have endured for thousands of years. And that was our food feature for this week. Now we're going to take a short break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we've got more for you on Kai Time. Hi everyone, Letitia here with another segment from House Sky. Today we're going to be making something quick, tasty and perfect for lunch, and that is chicken and veggie wrap. This one's all about juicy chicken, crunchy veggies and a creamy sauce, all wrapped up in a soft wrap.
For this dish, we will need chicken, onion, carrot, tomatoes, lemon, cucumber, ball cabbage, tortillas, and of course, our house guy, kakaruk stock cube. Now I'm time to cook one time house guy. Our first step, we're gonna slice our veggies. Thinly sliced our onions for our wrap, and keep a quarter of onion just to flavor the chicken. Carrots have beta carotene, that's great for your eyes. Alright, so now we'll cut our cabbage. A health benefit of cabbage is it reduces a risk of getting any type of cancer. I love my cabbage half cooked with noodles. For the purpose of this dish, we will keep our cabbage raw. Thinly slice our tomatoes. Tomato help with the pores so your skin looks like fresh. I'm leaving the skin on. Alright guys, now our veggies are done. It's time to prep our chicken.
Are you ready? Let it bounce.
And let's stir fry our chicken. All of it to be like that. Now let's heat up our tortillas. Alright guys, now it's time to mix our veggies. Everything is done, so now let's make our wrap. Does it look great or what? So I'm supposed to plate this, but dang it, I want to just take a bite first because it looks so delicious. Oh my god. Alright guys, that's all we have for you today. This is how you make a chicken veggie wrap with our very own house Kai kakaruk stock cube.
Welcome back to Kai Time. Now we're going to get started with cooking. And once again, our recipe, we're making a dessert. Now, our recipe is called Taro Toffee Balls, and we're going to be using taro as our main ingredient for this recipe. So a quick run through of the ingredients that we have here in front of us. So in this bowl, I've already peeled and washed and also cut up some taro. Over here, we've got some freshly scraped or grated coconut flesh. Now, this has not been squeezed, so we still have the coconut juices in it. Over here, we've got about half a cup of just normal sugar. And in here, we have about half a cup of coconut milk. Now, for this recipe, we only need 4 ingredients, well, 3 ingredients, because then you have the coconut and the coconut flesh and the coconut milk. So we'll get started. So the first things first, we're going to boil the taro. And I've already got the pot on the fire. And the water is boiling, so we're going to quickly add the taro in, and we'll cook this until it's thoroughly cooked through. Now, for our tofu, you only need 2 ingredients. That's the shredded or the grated coconut, as well as the sugar. So our taro goes in. So this is just another way of cooking using taro as a main ingredient. And there are lots of recipes using taro. All right, so we'll give this about 25 to 30 minutes. This is on a high heat, so we want our taro to be thoroughly cooked through. Now, while that's cooking, we're going to get started with making the tofu. I've got the skillet on the burner. Now we're going to cook the sugar. So this is half a cup of just normal sugar, white sugar that is. Now we're just going to spread this out, and we're going to leave it alone. So what we want is, once the sugar starts to melt, we'll just let it melt until all the sugar has melted before we add in our fresh coconut. So this should take about 1 to 2 minutes depending on the heat. Now what we're waiting for is for the sugar to start melting, and what we need is the golden color of the melted sugar. And for this recipe, it calls for sugar, but if you would like to try this recipe at home, you can just leave the sugar out and just wait for the taro to boil, and then you mash it down, make little balls, and coat it in the coconut. So we're just going a little bit extra with the sugar, but it's entirely up to you. Now when you're making this dish, you need to use a non-stick frying pan or a skillet, and use a wooden spoon. So once the sugar starts to melt, it tends to stick on whatever that you're using. And if you're using a steel or a metal, it's going to be a little bit difficult to remove the sugar. So I would recommend using a wooden spoon for this recipe. All right, so now you can see that the sugar is starting to melt or cook, and it's going a bit like, I would say, watery and a lot clearer. So we'll leave that, we won't touch it. Now the reason why we are leaving the sugar alone and allowing it to melt on its own is because once we start using the spoon to stir the sugar, and then when we add in the coconut, it hardens up. So that's the reason why we're just letting the sugar do its thing, and then we'll add in the coconut. So we do not want to burn the sugar. So it's advisable to pay attention, close attention when you're making recipes like this. So it's a very delicate process. So you can see the sugar, see the golden color. So I'll leave that alone, I won't touch it. So now it's got that golden brown color. We're going to add in the coconut, like so, and we'll stir this through. So like I mentioned, it's a fast and delicate process, so you have to be quick. And it does not take a long time, so stay close to it, pay close attention. If you want to get that perfect golden color, you have to pay close attention to this. Okay? And that's it. That's the toffee. It's done. It's so simple. You only need 2 ingredients. But you have to pay a closer attention to this. So it's done. I've turned the heat off. And we'll let it rest and focus on the taro that's boiling. It's been about 25 minutes. All right, so we check on the taro. All right, it's soft now. So that means that it's cooked through. We'll turn the heat off, drain the hot water, and bring the taro, put them in the dish, and we'll mash them. All right, so we've got our cooked taro here. Now I'm going to quickly mash this down. So using my wooden spoon, but you can always use a masher, potato masher, or the back of a rolling pin, even the back of a clean bottle of soy sauce or an oyster sauce. So I'm just using our spoon to mash it down. You can also use a fork. All right, so we've mashed this down and it's quite sticky. So now we're going to add in the coconut milk, but a little at a time. So just like this. So it's easier to work with. Like so. And it also gives it that creamy texture in the end. So 1 in and a little bit more. Like so. And we turn this. So this is our taro and coconut milk mixture. This is an arm workout. So give it to somebody who's a bit stronger to do this. But otherwise, this is done. So we'll get our plate and we'll put our toffee on a plate and we'll roll this taro into little balls and we'll roll them on the toffee just to coat them and we'll start plating. All right, so let's put our toffee onto this flat plate. I'll just scoop out a spoonful of, and then I've got clean hands. So just like a ball, like so. And we'll roll it in our toffee, like so. So these are fun dessert ideas using taro. And in there. All right, so we'll do the same for the rest. So just like that. Use your fingers to form it into a ball and roll it in the toffee. And there you have it, viewers, our very simple Taro Toffee Balls. Now the ingredients are very simple and easy to find, and you only need 3 ingredients for this recipe. I hope that you have been taking notes and you look forward to trying this recipe. Well, that is all we have for you on Kai Time. Now, just a quick recap on what we covered so far in the show. We took a look at our food feature for this week. We also checked out another great recipe from our friends at House Kai. Plus, on our Kai Time cooking segment, we made a dessert. It was the Taro Toffee Balls. Now, I hope that you have taken notes of the 2 recipes that we showed tonight, and you get to try this at home. I'm Martha Sarah, and on behalf of the Kai Time team and I, we would like to thank you for joining us. Do join me same time next week, right here on your #1 to watch, EMTV.